Hello everyone, UK here. The Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X have finally been released, and it's great news for Sea of Thieves players, as Sea of Thieves is one of the first games to be optimized for the Series S and X, so we're going to be taking a look at those wonderful new load times. Not only that, I'm going to be comparing the new generation with the Xbox One S and Xbox One X. If you're still undecided whether or not to upgrade your console, hopefully this video will help you make that decision. If you're brand new to the channel, please don't forget to click that subscribe button, and if you enjoyed the video, smash the thumbs up. Right, let's take a look at Sea of Thieves load times on the new Xbox Series S and X. So you've been wondering how much faster Sea of Thieves loads on these brand new consoles? I'll be comparing Sea of Thieves on 4 different consoles: the Xbox One S, One X, Series S, and Series X. You'll be able to see major differences between the old and new generation of consoles. But before we jump into these comparisons, I'd just like to go over my testing parameters. First, all 4 consoles I've tested on are completely default, and by that I mean standard out-of-the-box consoles. No external drives, no external SSDs. Whatever way these consoles were initially shipped will be tested. Sea of Thieves on the Xbox One S and Series S file size comes in at around 17 gigabytes, whereas the One X and Series X game files are just over 45 gig. The Xbox One X and Series X contain 4K files, obviously gives us a larger game size. The Xbox One S and One X both contain internal mechanical 2.5-inch hard drives at a speed of 5400 RPM, with the new Series S having a custom 512 gig NVMe SSD, with the Series X boasting a large 1TB custom NVMe also. For the first test, I will be showing loading into a server from setting sail to loading into a tavern. All tests were completed on each console after the second load into a server to keep the test parameters completely even. Now let's take a look at loading into a server in Sea of Thieves. As you can see, these are absolutely insane load times coming from the new consoles, with the Series S and Series X basically loading in 22 seconds. This itself would make you want to buy a new generation console. Now moving on to mermaid load times. For this test, I sailed a boat with wind. This means that when catching a mermaid, the game will load onto a moving ship. All tests were done by walking off the back of the ship and catching the first mermaid. Now let's take a look. Depending on the situation, mermaiding back to your ship can sometimes be extremely important. Let's say you're at an island and your crew has just been krakened. Those extra few seconds loading onto the boat could be vital for your crew, and again, based on the situation, could even stop your boat from sinking. And lastly, we're going to take a look at loading from the Ferry of the Damned back to your ship. This final test was done from loading from the Ferry of the Damned onto a moving ship. I decided to test this way as it's the best way I could simulate PvP by dying and loading onto your ship while it is still moving in combat. Let's see how fast the new consoles can do this. And there you have it, an incredible increase in load times back from the Ferry of the Damned. This allows the player to get back in the action much quicker, and even gives you an extra few seconds to bucket and repair your ship. How many times have you been playing Sea of Thieves when you're about to sink? You load back from the ferry onto a black screen while listening to your ship fill with water and sink, only to finally load onto your ship while it's sinking. This bump in load times will help giving you and your crew more time while engaged in combat, or even saving your boat from sinking. Just before I end the video, I decided to include one last test. It's the Xbox Series S and X loading alongside my PC. I didn't want to include this previously as all computer builds are different from player to player. We use different motherboards, RAM, graphics cards, mechanical drives, or SSDs. So all our loading times across different PCs will be different depending on hardware. So before you take a look, please remember this is just an estimate based on my own PC. A much more expensive build will yield better results, so keep that in mind. You see, even my PC is slower at loading into the game. I actually think it might be time for a new PC, but we'll see. And that brings us to the end of the video. I really hope you've been able to understand load times in Sea of Thieves from the previous generations all the way to the brand new Series S and X. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to smash that like button. And if you'd like to support me further, don't leave without clicking the subscribe button. Until the next one, thanks for watching.